Full Wednesday evening, hanging out here at home doing some DIYing, and I thought I'd pop on here to share with you guys a quick and easy and fun design thing that you can do with just some wood and with some napkins, okay? So as you come on, please say hello to me. I am Sonia, owner of the Shabby Shop, and I love to DIY, I love to create, I love to paint, I love to decorate. I love to do it on a budget, right? Save lots of money when you're doing it. So tonight's project is really going to be easy, okay? All you need is a piece of board and some fun napkins. So how many people out there have been to the stores and you see the cutest napkins, right? Like, I kind of have to admit that I have a bit of an obsession with napkins. Hey, Carrie, how are you tonight? What are you up to, girl? Hey, Mom and Dad's even on here tonight. Nice to see you guys. So anyway, Mom and Dad, I'm going to show you how to do something really cool tonight. We're going to make some wooden signs together. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? So, yeah, Walmart today, girl. I got to go to Walmart to see all my friends. So anyway, really quick and easy. But how many times have you been out and about and you see the cutest napkins? Sometimes they're so cute that you don't even want to use them, right, to wipe your mouth with. And they come out like and they're seasonal. You see them in the season. Sometimes you see them like during the holidays. So anyway, I'm doing a spring design tonight. So I went through all my napkins and I didn't realize I had as many as I do. So I've got I even saw flamingo napkins that I pick up. And usually I grab them on clearance. Like there's polka dots I have zebra print. I have like world map style, which is really cool. But I'm always out and about, and when I see these, I'll just pick up a couple of them and throw them into my shopping cart and keep them for later. Because the technique that I'm going to share with you tonight is one that I also like to do on my furniture. So as I'm showing you this, hopefully it will kind of open your minds to think, oh, that's really cool. Maybe I could do this with it, okay? So first off, all you need, hey Megan, how are ya? I'm going to show you a really easy DIY, girl, is go grab a piece of wood, okay? So go to the basement, you know what I say. Go to one of the Home Depot stores, Lowe's stores, get a piece of wood cut to the length that you want to make your sign, okay? So this is a piece I'm going to go with. It's probably, what, 2.5 feet maybe. So just a nice size right there. And all I've done to begin is paint it with some of our Junk Monkey Candy Bar Brown. I love this color because when I put it down on something like maybe like a pine wood, it kind of gives it's the perfect color of like the wood greens that you'd find in a piece of barn wood. So I like the brown that we have, and especially if you want to play it up, you can also put some black in there too. That makes it really cool. Hey Lulu, hey Sharon, how are you? Yeah, love Candy Bar Brown. Listen, I just love candy bars. It's so funny. I was talking to somebody this week and they said, do you name your own paints? And I'm like, yeah, actually we do. And there might be a theme going on, you know. You might find things like, you know, Candy Bar Brown and names that involve like sweets and desserts, because you know what? You can't hide what's inside. So anyway, all I did was splash on some Candy Bar Brown. I love to use little chip brushes like this here. They're really cheap to be able to spread it on, okay, and go with the grain of the wood. So I did this before to spare you from watching paint dry, but quickest way to obviously make paint dry is to grab a hair dryer. It's really quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I splash on my Candy Bar Brown Junk Monkey paint and it dries. Easy peasy, right? Okay, and the reason why I do this is because I'm going to use a napkin technique tonight, when you see these napkins here, to put on top of it and kind of show you how you can play with it. And this is awesome. Like I said, I do this for my furniture. I do this for just for signs and stuff like that, and they make the cutest it can make the cutest gifts. So I'll show you how to do it and kind of give you an idea tonight, okay? So what's everybody up to? You have to tell me what you do on a Wednesday night. I've been watching a little TV, doing a little DIYing. You know how this is. Oh yeah, and I should warn you, this is the part, when you get the napkins, the most important thing to get ready, once you pick the napkin of your choice, okay? So I'm doing spring themed, so I'm going to go with this particular packet. I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1. I think there's like 30 napkins, so I can make a ton of signs with one napkin pack, okay? I love to go to Marshall's as well, because Marshall's has cheap napkins, but they're really high-end quality ones, and they're really cool, like even designer ones, okay? Plaids, all kinds of really cool stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do, you'll see on your napkin on the very front of the thing, it'll say like 2-ply or 3-ply, that sort of thing, and this just means how many layers are in the napkin. What you want to be most concerned with and get prepared with is the very top layer, okay? So I'm going to peel it apart. And I will warn you, I was started to say that when you start to pull apart the napkins, that's the part that, you know, you ever be like at a serve checkout. I'm going to ask if it's just me or if anybody else goes through this pain. When you're trying to get the bags apart, it's like they all want to stick together. And you think to yourself, man, if I was ever a cashier, I would hold up the line and I would be the slowest cashier in the history of like Walmart. Anybody else out there just always have a problem trying to get those apart? So anyway, you can. Seriously, just grab the edge though, and it does work, okay? So again, you want the thin layer that is on the top, and then you can keep the white layer to like blow your nose with later, okay? We'll just put that to the side for right now. So what I'm trying to do is with the length of my wood here, hopefully you guys can see here, what I'm trying to do is go ahead and lay down my napkins to the length and get it prepared, okay? Because I need to have this part prepared before I do the next step, because there is no stop and go in this. You just kind of got to be ready to rock and roll with it, all right? Anybody ever used napkins before to do any sort of decor pieces, DIY? Tell me out there. Hey, Trisha, how are you back in Corner Book? Nice to see you on here, girl. We're doing some DIY-ing tonight with napkins nonetheless, okay? So yeah, cute napkins, the ones that you see and you're like, oh, these are too cute to use, or you have a party and you have the leftover ones. So what I'm going to show you is with napkins, even if you're making signs and you're like the most horrible person, like sometimes I have people come out to my paint parties and they say, oh man, I'm like the worst person for like, I can't, you know, paint a flower to save my soul. I can't, I'm not really good with a paintbrush. This is going to save you, okay? This is going to save you. So I'm laying out my tissue paper to get it to the length of where I need it to be. All right, let's see here. That might be enough. Let's just do a double check. Let's see. But yeah, tell me if anybody's ever done this before. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Jolene. How are you? Man, I got the whole family on here tonight. The whole family. Seriously. All right, I'm just getting ready here now. Actually, I might have a piece. Well, no, I'm going to need it. I'm going to need it. I'm going to have to cut a little piece for the very end, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm cutting a little piece off over here. Okay, so save your napkins. Anybody got napkins right now that were really cute left over from a party, and they're up in your cupboard, and you're like, what the heck am I going to do with these? I'm going to show you what you can do with them. And like I was saying, so you can do, as I show you how to work this, you can do any design that you want. So if you want the zebra print, like I said, if you want the polka dots, if you want the pink flamingos, you can do that. But you can, it's an easy way to add a design to a sign. So right now I've got my 3 pieces of my tissue paper, my tissue napkins, and I'm going to put these aside and be ready to rock and roll with those, okay? Put these to the side. Next up, I'm going to grab my Mod Podge. Let me see. I just buried it with my napkins, so now let me dig it out. Okay, here we go. So you can get Mod Podge. You can get this, like, probably the cheapest I've found it is at Walmart. This, you can tell how much I've used this. This is like totally glued all over, right? But you can also go to the Dollar Tree, just to let you know, for $1. So the bigger one's about $10 to $12, depending on what size you get and what style you get. But just to let you know, the Dollar Tree does carry these, and you know I'm a girl on a budget. So for $1, this is awesome. This goes a nice way. I mean, you could get a couple signs out of this. So if you want to get a cheap way and just kind of try your hand at it and see how good you are, this might be a way to go. So all I'm going to do now, hey Emer, how are ya? Hey Amy. So now what I'm going to do, it's already started. I'm actually just going to go ahead and squeeze out some Mod Podge right onto this piece of wood that I've just painted brown. That's all I've done with it at just this point. And now I'm going to take just my brush and put it all over, okay? So what I want to do is smear it all over. Now, has anybody out there ever worked with Mod Podge before? Tell me. Because you will second what I'm about to say when I say this, and that is you have to work fast with it, number one, because it's glue, right? You can even make your own Mod Podge if you really wanted to. I'm pretty sure it's just white glue, like a white school glue, a white Elmer's glue, and water. But if you have the Mod Podge or you want to go to the Dollar Tree for $1 and you don't feel like being a scientist and cooking up some Mod Podge, you can go and just get it right off the shelf. But the important thing is to get it all over, to swipe it all over really quickly, to work fast. And number two, what I said, get it all over. You make yours, Tanya. What's your recipe? Put it on here for the ladies. So, yeah, and the other thing is to get it all over, because what happens if you don't get it all over, then you'll find out down the road that you start to have what looks like bubbles, okay? And that is the parts where the Mod Podge, or the sign itself, the wooden part, didn't have any moisture to be able to suck the napkin down, okay? So you get those like bubbles and things, all right? So bear with me. I am going to lean over here and lay down my napkins. Really, really easy. This is a big piece, so just bear with me. You'll start to see it as I get closer to the edge here. So I kind of just start at the top, use my straight line, and when I put it down, I'm going to pat it down. I'm not going to swipe it, because napkins tear very, very easy, right? You know how that is. And especially when you've taken a napkin and you've now even like, basically you took all the rest of the ply out and all that's left is this very, very flimsy piece, okay? But that's what makes it so great for making signs, because it just soaks into the wood. So right now I'm just laying them piece to piece. Can you guys see that on here okay? Just kind of edge to edge. And one thing I've learned as well is you don't want to overlap. I mean, you can a smidge, just a smidge, but I will tell you that if you overlap, and I used to, when I first started this technique, I would like really like even give myself an inch or half an inch. What would happen is when it dries and it sucks into the wood, it would leave this line across my project, and I didn't like it. So butt up as close as possible to the last tissue paper. And again, just do the pat with your hands, because if you do any swiping, you've now made this very, very thin piece of napkin, so thin that it is like so susceptible to tearing, okay? So again, I'm going to put the last one down here. The last full napkin. Let's see here. So you just kind of got to have patience. Like I said, you got to have the patience to pull them apart, and then the patience just to lay them down where you want them to be. All right, there we go. And I kind of like, when I do the patting technique, it gives me like this, like some of the tissue paper starts to crinkle. And you guys know that I own a shabby shop, so I love distress stuff. I love farmhouse, I love rustic, so I love all the little pattern that comes out in the napkin, but also the way it lays. It makes it look old and just really, really, you know, old and just really cool looking. It gives a really cool look to it. So this little thin piece I'm going to put on the edge, because I didn't quite have enough to make it. Let's see if I can get this on here with a full napkin. And believe it or not, this is going to be a sign when we're done. So start thinking right now for your wood sign. Okay, you know, what design would I want to do? So you can do really cool planks. Like, how cool is that looking now? This is a wood plank, and it has a design on it, right? So think about all the places that you could basically do planks. So for me, if I have a bookcase and it's missing the backing, or if it's a bookcase that maybe has a very, very thin, you know, sometimes you can get bookcases that have like the pressed wood cardboard backing, and it's just held on by, I don't know, maybe some staples or something. You can pull that off and put thin planks right across the back of the bookcase, vertical or horizontal, and it can create a great look. You can also do these, and when I'm done, you'll really be able to see what I mean. But these are really cool too for nursery signs, right? So not only can it be like the back of a bookcase, the back of a hutch, but it can be a really cool nursery sign. So what I've done is I put out my layered Mod Podge. I very gently put all my napkins down. I did the palm push, right, the whole way over with it. And now what I'm going to do is go back to my Mod Podge again, because Mod Podge not only is a glue, but it's also a sealer. And I'm just gonna give it a really good seal. So I just went ahead and put some more down, and now I'm going to brush it on. And the cool thing is it dries clear. It dries clear. So we're going to brush it on, but we're also going to pounce it. So if you have any spots that seems like it's sticking up, go ahead and do the pounce. Do the pounce. This is a workout, guys. This is a workout, you know, so, you know, you're allowed to eat cupcakes while you do this, and you're allowed to drink wine, because, you know, it all cancels out, right? All the calories cancels out because you've got a lot of work going on. This is really, really easy, honestly. Seriously, this will be a great project for the girls, you know, getting together, doing some really cool signs. You can find a really cool, I mean, you can find napkins that have cows on them, and roosters, and chickens if you want to go farmhouse style. There are so many styles. So here is a tip, okay? So once you put it on, let's see here. Once you put it on and it's all over, one of the things I do now, because sometimes, now this board here is pretty much the width of the actual napkin, but sometimes you have a thinner piece and the napkin overlays. That's okay. When you do your pouncing and your brushing and you're giving that seal to the very top, take your time and go around the edges as well. So what that does is it wets the actual napkin, and if you have any that's kind of over the side, I'll show you what to do. So it makes a napkin very, very wet and very, very easy to tear. So as you work your way around the edges, get that sealer on the top, so that way the sealer is coming from the bottom, it's coming from the top, and you've got a really good adhesive there. You can take a sand block, okay? So you can do like a fine or a medium. I wouldn't do too coarse. And then what you can do, oh, see, look, this is what happens. This is why I don't have my hair out when I'm actually painting kitchens and stuff. So then what you do is you just do a brush down. You see this little piece that's hanging off here? This is the piece that was too big. It was too wide for my sign. So I'm gonna do down sweeps, okay? And what that does is it tears off anything and it all comes off really, really nice on my edge. So now I've got a nice clean edge. I've got my sealer is working its way over all of this, and I'm just gonna leave it, okay? So now I'm gonna leave it and let it dry. So I would normally let this dry probably just like at least a couple of hours before you do the next step. But I have the next step already done, so we're gonna speed it up and pretend that this is the same plank, okay? So what do you guys think so far? Give me some hearts, tell me what you think. Let me see. Jennifer, do I ever rest? No. When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work, right? So you just keep going. But how cool is that, right? So I'm not finished yet. But think about it at this point for like planks. I mean, think about it. You could even do a plank top for your end tables. You can do a plank top for your dining room table. And you can do whatever design you want. So, you know, you could do planks where maybe you have some distress where you just go ahead and you use the Junk Monkey paint and you do thin ones. And so you have some teals and you have some pinks and then you have your splash of your pattern and you can kind of do that, right? Like how cool is that? Oh guys, thanks for the hearts. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Okay. All right. So fast forward. Da-da-da. Here's one that is almost dry. Okay. It's pretty well dry. I did this a couple hours ago, so you can see how it's really, really drying and it's really, really sucking into the wood, right? And I've already done the edges. So I've taken my sand block and I've done the edges all over. It looks great. They're nice and flush. And I can even take my sand pad. Man, look at all the hearts and the thumbs up. You made my night. You made my night. Oh, thanks, Susie. Hey, Wendy. It is super, super cute, right? And you see how strong it's on there? I'm sanding this. Now, if I really want to, I could use some extra muscles and start even distressing some of these pieces. So the cool thing is I use Candy Bar Brown underneath it. So when I do the distressing, if I want any, let's see, if I want any chippy pieces to really come through, like here's one right here. Let's see here. Find it right here. I don't know if you can see it. The color that's coming through is brown. So how fun would this be with teals and pinks? Hey, Patty, how are you? Just saw you at the shop, girl. All right. So I am going to do some distressing because I'm a girl who likes to distress. All right. And I like it. Super, super flat on there. If you were here up close and you could see, and I'll take some really good pictures because it's always hard through Facebook Live to really be able to show this. But it's got like some really cool chippy effects going on, right? Chippy effects. All right, so there we go. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is, okay, so a couple ideas. I'm going to put a welcome on here and make it a spring welcome sign. Now, if you have stencils, one of my favorite places is the alphabet. Oh, yellow would be really, really cute with that. Absolutely. Your hair would be covered in Mod Podge. I think I already have some down here somewhere, but luckily it will wash off. That's why you usually see me with my hair up. So anyhow, I'm ready to go ahead and put some words on here now. So here's what I would normally do. I mean, if you're a really good person with freehanding, you could freehand it. And a lot of you guys are thinking, heck, no, there is no way. Number 2. Go to a place like Walmart and just go ahead and invest in a like a little pack of stencils. Get the size that you like, the style, the font that you like, and they're usually about $5. And then you can lay out whatever words you want. You can lay spring on here. I'm going to do welcome. But that's why I say think about it at this point. You could do a really cool sign maybe for a nursery or somebody's room. Or you could put like a monogram on here, whatever you want, okay? Now tonight, I just happen to have my hands on some vinyl. So anybody out there, you love their Cricut. I personally have a Cricut. But has anybody out there ever cut any vinyl? Barbara, this is Junk Monkey. Look at that. We've got some new shirts. Junk Monkey Paint Company. Thank you for asking. Yes, love my little Junk Monkey. Let's see here. Ooh, that's a great idea, Amy. Attach a long ribbon and clip bows to it. That would be really, really cute, right? But all it is wooden napkins, and she can have her fun and pick out whatever color she wants. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is put my welcome down, okay? So if anybody has worked with vinyl before, let me know. It is really, really easy, and it's a great way to cheat. So this is going to make it really super quick on how I'm going to show you how it all comes together, okay? So I'm just using I'm a girl who just grabs what I got, right? So this is a putty knife, okay? Honestly, I could also use maybe my Sheets Rewards card or some cheap just card that I might have in my purse. But what I'm trying to do right now is separate the vinyl so that everything is going to stick to the very top sheet. So anybody out there work with vinyl, tell me if you've ever done that before. I know that if you've been to some of my BYOB paint classes, you may have, because some of our classes have been teaching you guys how to do that. All right, so these are all my stick-on letters. Do you see them? And sometimes you can go to places and honestly find them already made. I know the dollar store, sometimes I'll find some really cute ones there. So here's where I eyeball it up and I do the squint test. I'm just going to throw this down. And I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit and it's on, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and take my, you love your Cricut. Oh, very cool. What do you usually do with yours, Olga? What are you usually making when you pull out your Cricut? All right, so I've got my words down, my sticker words, right? My sticker letters. So we're going to make this easy tonight. And now, if you guys can see this, I put it right in the very center of the plank that I just created. That was a plain pine wood plank that was just painted and put on my really cool floral background. And the thing is too, when you do this background and you're putting words over the front of it, you don't have to don't be hard on yourself and be like, oh, I got a tear right there, or I don't like the way that looks. The thing is, your focal point is going to be your words. So your background just provides a really pretty backdrop. That's all you have to worry about, right? Just getting it on there, letting it dry, do some distressing if you want to, get any excess that's off the edges of your wood plank. And all right, so I decided to go with vinyl because this was a really, really quick way to show you guys tonight. But if you don't have access to vinyl, I love, love, love doing stenciled letters. So I would just go get a pack of stenciled letters, put out the word that you want in the font style that you want, and then you have it on there. Like, how cool is that? And I'm going to add some edging to it, I think, as well. Okay, you see that? How cool is that coming out? So think about all the possibilities. Heck, you could do a giant one if you really wanted to. Think about all the words. How cool would it be for, like a baby shower, for a, I'm trying to think here, for a wedding? That would be cool. And you can find some wedding napkins. Even if you go to the dollar section of the Dollar Tree and stuff like that, or Walmart, I mean, cheap napkins. So all kinds of ideas. Now, because I feel like my words are kind of really, really in the center, I'm going to take a little splash of, this is just our vintage white, because I want it to match up with the words. So all I'm doing, let's see if you guys can see this. I'm going to take my brush and I'm literally going to splash a little bit right around the edge, okay? So what that does is it frames my project, and it doesn't feel like I have these white letters in the center and there's nothing going on to really frame it. Because think about a picture frame, right? It always looks nice as or a picture, when you got it in a frame, it just really makes it the focal point. So all I'm doing is taking my chip brush and I'm pulling it inward, and what it's doing, you can see that, is creating some really splashes, okay? Creating some splashes, splash of color. This is really easy, and because I've done this in a distress style, I don't want my brush marks to be perfect. I just want it to look like the edges are really just old and distressed, and the paint is kind of falling off the edges, and then you can look it all over, give it a good look over, and if you need to touch up anything, all right, there we go. Yes, it's a great project for when you're home and you're looking for something to do. So like, how cute is that, right? Yay! Just a piece of pine wood, that's all. And then you saw I kind of did the edges to give them like a little bit of this, just a little flick of the white here. And now what I probably would do, since you would normally hang this on a wall, is just take my brush and give it a few swipes as well over the side. So that way the kind of white just like really wraps around. So let me see if I can do the other side here. So who would do something like this, right? Tell me, would you do something? Are you going to do this? Yes, it does look very spring-like. You are buried under a mountain of snow here in Ottawa. Oh man. I'm going to have to send you pictures. I'm going to have to send you pictures of down here. If you saw my live video this morning, the grass is green. We're in like full on about to be summer mode. So here you go. I'm going to be careful not to touch the sides of it. So remember, if you are not somebody that is very good at painting a background, go get a background that's already been printed in these cheap dollar napkins, whatever ones you want. Yeah, the letters come out backwards. Apparently there's a way here on Facebook. I need to figure out how to do it. Maybe I'll come on sometime. You guys can tell me if I can flip it the right way. And where everything is mirrored. So it looks backwards, but it's actually not. It's just the way it is. Yeah, yes, Terry, this is all done with napkins. So go back and look at the napkin technique because it's a way to cheat. So just imagine, guys, if you are painting, if you're junk monkeying some dressers out there and you want to do something really cute, no matter what style you're going, whether it's old world, like remember how I was in that house this morning and she has Tuscan old world style, you could find some really cool like old world maps, that sort of thing, and put this on the drawers of the dresser, right? And this will be your drawers, and then you could put your your two glass knobs. How cool would that be? So you can do any style of any single napkin that you can find. So anyhow, this is my DIY tonight. Making a bunch of signs, and yes, because I kind of have a obsession with napkins. And you can see why, right? Because you can do so much stuff. So I've done lots of, even like end tables. If you want to do a top on your end table, maybe you can find like, if you want to do checkerboard or anything of that style, if you can find it, you can do it. So I'm going to pop off of here tonight. Hopefully I gave you guys some good inspiration. Yes, keep your napkins. Absolutely. And yes, if you need to, you can seal it. But honestly, you don't really have to because the Mod Podge acts as a sealer, remember. So I've got a sealer on the top. So this is actually very smooth. Plus, I've sanded it as well. So really easy. I have so many DIY ideas, guys. I'm going to be on here regularly because I've got like so many ideas written down. And I want to come on and share them with you because it's springtime and this is the time we want change. We want to put out some new decorations. So be sure to stay tuned because I love to paint, create, and decorate. All right, so you're invited to my next DIY party. I will see you guys all soon. See you later. Oh, by the way, don't forget to watch on Saturday. I have the big reveal of the kitchen coming up where I'm flipping from the oak to the beautiful cream and glaze. So you're going to want to check that out. All right, I will see you on here again soon. And by the way, you can put flowers on here. You can put embellishments on here. Anything that you want to put on as well. So there's my DIY sign. How quick was this? You guys all take care. Thanks for the love. Bye.